episode of Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Joining me, as always, is our volunteer coordinator, who's filling in as an expert animal wrangler. Since we've moved to a different time and things like that, it's a little bit harder for the volunteers to help us out with this type of activity. Our first dog today is Gillian, and she is quite a small dog. She's actually a great size. She's just about 40 pounds. A lot of people, including myself, thought that she was an older puppy when she first came in. And to everybody's surprise, once they got examined, we learned that she's actually about 1 to 2 years old. So she's going to be a good, small kind of pocket pit. And she is a very affectionate dog. She is a dog that is very treat motivated, working on their manners here. A lot of the dogs on the floor need a little help with that. Just the overall stress kind of brings out that lack of remembering their training, if you will. But also a lot of our dogs just never really got that kind of good manners training. And so their new families are going to really be responsible for making sure that they're getting all of that stuff under their belt. She's a good size, and she should be a great addition to any family, and we really don't have any age restrictions on who could own this dog, as far as children, things like that.
So Gillian has some wounds on her face. What are they from?
So she has some things on her nose, some things around her face. So those could be for a couple of different things. So first, Gillian did come in with what we're assuming is a sibling named Sally. And they like to get into some scuffles. They were housed together, and so they were kind of fighting. And, it's not a huge deal. You have to think about it, like if you were stuck in a car for, all day, every day with someone in your family, you might get into some arguments. So that's kind of a part of that, is just, them being together all the time, not having any space away from each other. And these guys have not been spayed yet, so they're actually they're in heat right now, so that could also be a factor in those kind of scuffles. But the other reason could be just because both Gillian and Sally are fence climbers. They live in a very specific set of kennels here in the shelter that have covers on the top, which makes it hard for them to escape. So they have both climbed out of both the indoor and outdoor kennels. So they are no longer allowed to be in kennels where they can climb out that aren't covered. And so that's something that owners are going to want to take into consideration as well. These guys are not candidates for just leaving them out in the backyard by themselves. They should be supervised at all times, especially if you have a shorter fence. Chain link would not be recommended for these guys because they can climb right over that. So 6 foot privacy fences would be good. Again, always supervised outside because they are very smart and they can figure stuff out. But also, alternatives like keeping them outside on a long lead even, so that you have they can feel like they have the freedom to run around, but they are still on a leash. So it makes it easier to make sure that they're not going to get lost or get into some sort of trouble or, get hit by a car or anything like that because they've ran out of the yard. So they have a lot of potential, both of them, but you want to be, very mindful that they will be able to probably get out of your backyard. So just taking all of those management precautions. If you're interested in meeting Gillian, you can do so by going to visit fcac.as.me to book an appointment. We do have availability Monday through Saturday and evenings on Wednesdays.